Right now at 6, the latest on an investigation following the fire of Joplin's old Carnegie Library building last week. Plus, efforts to make a local garden more accessible for people with disabilities. And we'll hear from a mother on safety tips on playground safety in the summer heat. The Joplin Fire Department says last week's fire at the old Carnegie Library building was set intentionally. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jalen Banks. Authorities say the fire started around 5 in the morning on June 30th. The building has significant damage in the basement, along with fire and smoke damage to the upper 3 floors. Now investigators have determined it was arson. JPD released these surveillance images of the suspect on a bike. They are asking for the public's help to identify this person. A local organization is making it easier for people with disabilities to work on their green thumb. On My Own Incorporated, an independent living center in Nevada, created an accessible community garden to teach independent living skills. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
This community garden in Nevada is not only focused on growing fresh produce, but also growing independent living skills. This garden is tailored to be accessible to everyone.
We offer the garden class as a way for socialization as well as education on self-sustaining lifestyle, where you can grow some plants and learn a little bit more about cooking, because we also use the produce that we have in the gardens in cooking class.
Learning self-sustaining skills intrigues Cody Kidweiler because there's always something to learn.
I told you I learned some of it from my dad, and I want to see if I would learn more.
Cody has helped transform the garden for over a year.
This was like nearly bare, where we worked on some of it, and here it is. It's like almost full of plants.
Having an accessible community garden lets everyone experience the joy of gardening without having to worry about if they can.
Get a plant and pull by the root. So make sure, just dig, loose the dirt, then get the plant back into the hole, then cover it. It's totally fun.
Corey is not only learning how to plant, but also learning how to adjust to working with friends.
I like new things and new people, but sometimes I work as a group. It's kind of nervous about me, and I love working in the garden. I got lots of friends, but my favorite friend is Roy.
On My Own Incorporated offers more than just independent living services. They also loan out wheelchairs and remodel homes to accommodate handicaps. In Nevada, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
On My Own Incorporated also offers cooking and household living classes for anyone wanting to become more independent. The City of Joplin received federal funding that will be used for street scraping and reinventing the sidewalks of 8th Street to 15th Street. City Manager Nick Edwards says the fund will help with repairing curbs, benches, and trashes in order to keep the city safe and clean.
The streetscaping project's a great maintenance project that will help improve sidewalks and curbs. It'll add lighting and benches and trash cans to that portion of Main Street. The project there's a specified time that the funds have to be spent, so the project is expected to start soon.
He also says Main Street will be the focus of the project. Now Doug Haiti joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, another blazing hot day for us today. Temperatures lower triple digits again. Third time we have done it this summer. Excessive heat advisories continue for tomorrow. Kansas, Missouri heat advisories across Oklahoma and also parts of Arkansas. Few little clouds have been kind of skirting through, but in general, there's nothing going on here. We got thunderstorms out across central and western Kansas. These are mainly going to move to our north, but a few of those could skirt our northwestern counties late tonight into the morning hours tomorrow. Everybody else quiet. Look at our temps. We're still sitting at 100 after 6 o'clock. Carthage, Joplin, Oswego, Indy sitting at 102 degrees. Heat indices still way up there, 105 to about 110. Temps are going to drop back through the 90s, 80s, near 80 for an overnight low tonight. We do have some changes in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Well, speaking of those temps, during the summer, kids like to go out and play, but during the intense heat, that can come with some safety risk. As temperatures rise, even the plastic surfaces can get extremely hot. A Pittsburgh mother is warning others after her daughter was burned on a plastic slide at Schlanger Park. Samantha Red provides some tips for parents before hitting the playground.
I would just recommend that, parents definitely make sure that their legs and stuff are covered as much as possible without being in pants and overheating. And then just check the slide yourself. Like if you don't want to go down it yourself, then don't let them go down it if things are just too hot.
The city of Pittsburgh is placing stickers on the slides warning about the potential heat on them. They are also ordering more warning signs to replace the ones that have been vandalized. Jasper County Sheriff's Office is celebrating the retirement of a fellow officer. K9 Holly started her career in 2015. Over the past 8 years, she has been deployed 665 times, making 183 arrests and locating 241.2 pounds of legal narcotics. Along with all her hard work, she has conducted numerous public demonstrations. Holly will enjoy her retirement and remain with her handler, Corporal George Datum.
It was an honor to get to work for her, be her handler. It sucks.
Retired K9 Holly will be replaced with Valor. Valor is a 15-month-old German Shepherd from Poland. Coming up, details about the legalization of marijuana for adults over the age of 21. A group seeking a statewide vote on whether to legalize adult use of marijuana has submitted boxes of signatures for state officials to begin counting. If approved, the question would legalize the use of marijuana for any adult over the age of 21. Feliz Romero has more on the ballot in question.
After several years of work,
I've personally been working on this since 2019. There's a group of Oklahomans that have been working on it for several years.
And thousands of signatures.
We've had other petitions and haven't quite made it to this stage. So we're really excited that this petition has been able to gather enough signatures.
The group Oklahomans for Sensible Marijuana Laws is stepping into the Secretary of State's office for the first time.
The requirement to get on the ballot is 94,911 valid signatures. That's people who are registered to vote in the state of Oklahoma.
Hoping to get State Question 820, which would legalize recreational marijuana, on the November ballot.
It is the right time and that voters are ready to vote on it. So today was definitely a day of celebration.
The OMMA says right now our focus is on regulating the medical marijuana industry as we are mandated to do so. Should that role need to change, we will respond accordingly.
We've had conversations with the OMMA along the way to work with them on how this new law would look.
If the measure passes, it will use tax revenue for schools and healthcare programs.
Recreational would provide a 15% tax, which is going to be higher than what's on the medical program currently, and we project that it's going to provide a lot of revenue for our state.
And a little later, a former Oklahoma Sooner packs his bags to a new team in the NFL. Jacob Leonard has more.
Plus, of course, the heat's going to stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, another hot, another humid day for us today. Third day this summer we've hit 100 degrees, the sixth time we've hit 98 or greater. So we've had a pretty good stretch of very hot weather over the past, couple weeks here in the four-state area. Nice shot. This is our Landers Chevrolet live tower cam. Southeast side of the city, pretty much clear skies. Here's eastbound, here's westbound. Of course, traffic moving pretty good across the region. All right, excessive heat warning still in effect, Missouri and Kansas. This is through tomorrow night. Heat advisories, Oklahoma and then also Arkansas due to the high temperatures, the high humidity across the region. In fact, look at our temps right now, still 100 in Carthage, 98 at Grand, 98 in Pitt. Neodesha is sitting at about 100 degrees with our humidity, which is high. Anytime you see dew points into the 70s during the summer, that's not really good. That puts us in that muggy to soupy range, and that's where we're going to sit again as we head into Thursday, even into Friday. Then we'll get a little bit of relief from the humidity over the weekend, but heat indices about 105 to 110 across the region right now. And it does look like we'll slowly cool down as we go through the evening hours, but even after 6, still 100, 108 is the heat index right now in Joplin. Temperatures slide slowly back through the 90s, 80s, eventually about 78 to 79 degrees later on tonight. Few clouds, not much here. Thunderstorms out across central and western Kansas, down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Most of these are going to skirt up near Kansas City, but this little southern branch here may clip our northwestern counties later on tonight. We could use some good rain. We're just not really getting it. Look at the hole across the south central plains. This is due to high pressure in charge. Until this breaks down, moves back toward the southwest, we deal with the heat, but we do get a few changes heading into the weekend. All right, let's go hour by hour. Here's midnight. That complex of storms out west mainly stay north, but by morning, we may get a few that skirt our northern counties. Everybody else just partly cloudy skies. Upper 90s by noon, and then triple-digit heat again, upper 90s, far northern counties. Here's your day planner, starting at 79, 97 by noon. High temp 103, isolated storm morning, isolated storm afternoon. Southerly winds 5 to about 15. Tomorrow night, a few more pop up. Scattered thunderstorms, which would be great if we could get a little bit of rain in here. And then we heat up again on Friday, upper 90s to near 100 degrees. Plus the heat indices way up there again tomorrow, pushing 110, pushing about 105 by the time we head into Friday afternoon. Then it gets a little bit better as we head into the weekend. It's hot through the period, but it's just different categories of hot. 103 tomorrow, 99 Friday, 93 on Saturday, lower humidity, so it will feel much better. The heat, humidity increase again Sunday, Monday back to about 102.
To think that those temps would feel, quote unquote, much better.
Well, yeah, I know 93 is hot, but it's better than 103.
Absolutely, yeah. 10-degree difference is going to feel awesome.
Definitely.
All right, thank you, Doug. The new antenna is now at the top of our tower. For now, we're broadcasting from a temporary antenna lower on the tower as we prepare to transition to a new, more powerful transmitter. Our signal might be a little glitchy for some of you for the time being, but when this project is finished, we'll be broadcasting with more power than ever. You can check out the progress anytime on our website at koamnewsnow.com/power. Now, our own Jacob Leonard is here with sports. The Joplin Outlaws aim for their 4th straight win tonight.
The Outlaws trying to stay hot at home against the Clarinda A's. We're going to talk about that one. CNC rivals become teammates this summer for the Midwest Mustangs. That story and a new home for Baker Mayfield coming up next. The Joplin Outlaws are back on the field tonight, finishing up a 2-game set against the Clarinda A's. Now, the Outlaws won Game 1 last night, scoring 8 runs in the final 3 innings to win it 14-12. Now, Joplin sits at 14-14 overall coming into the night, which is good enough for first place in the Mink League South Division. This one starts at 7 o'clock in Joplin. Have the latest from the game right here tonight at 10. Well, conference rivals have become teammates this summer. Some of the best baseball players from Girard, Columbus, Frontenac, and Galena have set their rivalries aside and teamed up to play for the Midwest Mustangs. They want to beat each other almost year-round.
It gets pretty intense, and we play them in all sports, not just baseball. We play them in football, too. That gets pretty intense, and basketball gets intense as well. Football, it gets kind of competitive because that's how football is, but baseball, we're not really you can't really do a lot to them in baseball physically, so you can talk a little bit, but that's about it. Whenever I was first entering high school, it was like, how big are these rivalries? Now that I've gone along and I've played these guys and I play with them in the summer, it's like I really want to go beat these guys. Like, there's nothing better than beating them sometimes.
But this summer, some of the best from CNC rivals Girard, Galena, Frontenac, and Columbus have teamed up playing for the Midwest Mustangs.
It's definitely a switch because you go from in the season in high school ball to wanting to beat and wanting to be on top of the CNC, but then you come in the summer and you got to come together to try to be a better version of all of that combined. So it's definitely different, but it's a lot of fun.
The baseball rivalry is especially intense between Frontenac and Columbus. The Raiders beat the Titans in the regional championship last year to go to state, before Columbus returned the favor in May to punch their ticket to Manhattan.
In the back of my head, I was like, it's cool for them to get to go, but at the same time, really wanted to go again. And it sucked being on the field watching them celebrate. But at the same time, it's like, get to play with them again. They're still my buddies. It's not going to put anything between us. We'll have to go get them next year, though.
The players will go back to their respective schools and back to being rivals in a few weeks. Until then,
we just want to make each other better and make each other strive for what we know we can become, and we just have a lot of potential, and we see it in each other.
They compete, and they compete hard, but at the end of the day, they want everybody to be better and Southeast Kansas to be recognized, and I think they're putting, this age group, this junior-senior class, 2023, is on the map.
The Mustangs are back on the field this weekend in Kansas City before finishing up their summer schedule the following weekend at Central Missouri. In the major leagues, the St. Louis Cardinals face the Atlanta Braves for Game 3 of their 4-game series tonight. Cards trying to avoid a 4th straight loss in this one. We're just now getting started. We'll have highlights from this one tonight at 10. Now, American League Baseball here. Game 3 of a 4-game series between the Royals and Astros. Houston has taken each of the first 2 games of the series. First pitch for that one is at 7:10 with Brad Keller getting the start on the mound for Kansas City. Well, former Heisman Trophy winner Baker Mayfield has a new home in the NFL. Today, the Cleveland Browns traded Mayfield to the Panthers in exchange for a 2024 draft pick. Now, the former Oklahoma standout was the #1 overall pick for the Browns back in 2018. In the 4 years since, he's thrown for 14,000 yards and 92 touchdowns. Also led the Browns to their first playoff win in 26 years. Now he's headed to Carolina, where he will compete with fellow 2018 first-rounder Sam Darnold to be the Panthers' Week 1 starter. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
We take time now to honor a local member of the armed forces. Brendan Lewis has served in the U.S. Navy since 2012. His hometown, Fredonia, Kansas. We are proud to salute Utilities Man 2nd Class Brendan Lewis, our 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Staff members from a local McDonald's restaurant volunteer at a Ronald McDonald House. Plus, a local church hosts a Water Wars event for a night full of family fun. And President Biden touts his economic agenda in the battleground state of Ohio. Those stories and a lot more on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Barbecue chicken may be a summertime fan favorite, but this weekend you need to prepare your poultry with a little more grease, because today is National Fried Chicken Day. Whether it's at home or at a restaurant, take a moment to enjoy National Fried Chicken Day with a few pieces of golden deep fried poultry goodness. In celebration of the great holiday, KOAM has a poll online on their Facebook page and at KOAMnewsnow.com/trivia. Go to the page and vote for your favorite chicken place in the 4-state area. The poll closes at midnight.
Yeah, Director Dylan, he said he was going to run up to Chicken Annie's tonight and get us all chicken. So
Cool. You said it on TV now. It has to be true.
Either one of you have a favorite?
I like Chicken Annie's.
Yeah, Chicken Annie's is great.
It's pretty good. All right, hot out there. 103 for us tomorrow. 99 on Friday. Still 90s over the weekend, but a little bit better.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening, 4 states.